Hey guys, welcome back to PTPioneer, the best online resource to help you understand how to become a certified personal trainer. I am Alex and I am a certified personal trainer, and in today's video we're going to take a look at the ACE Certified Personal Trainer exam. We're going to take a look at a couple of things in terms of the exam breakdown, what sort of domains and topics are going to be covered in the examination, the exam difficulty, what additional information you can find in regards to preparing for the exam with practice tests and any other study guides, as well as any additional questions that you might have in regards to the ACE exam. If you guys check out the links in the description below, we have our friends over at Trainer Academy that's provided us with a lot of great resources for the ACE examination. There's practice tests and study guides, any additional things that you might need in order to prepare for the examination. Our friends over at Trainer Academy have an exam pass guarantee, so they're definitely worth checking out. Now, before we get started, don't forget to smash the like button. It definitely helps us out in terms of the YouTube algorithm and getting our information out to new upcoming personal trainers. Now, if you've smashed the like button and you're wanting to learn more about the ACE examination, let's get right into the video. Now, the first part of this video that we're going to take a look at is the ACE examination breakdown. One thing to keep in mind is that they've changed a lot of their content since 2018, and with that, we also have a lot of information that might be outdated with a lot of other resources or materials that you might be able to find online. Most websites and services haven't really updated their information, so this is especially important when you're preparing for the examination, finding the right resources that have up-to-date materials. Now, for this examination, it's broken down into 4 different domains and has a certain percentage of each of the questions allocated to each of the domains. Domain 1 is going to be covering interviews and assessments. This covers about 23% of the overall examination and is roughly around 35 questions. This part tests your knowledge on how you obtain medical, exercise, and any additional information on the clients themselves. This is primarily done through interviews or questionnaires in order to assess if the client is fully ready to participate in exercise. You'll also be tested on the client's readiness for behavioral changes and things that they would need to adjust in terms of their habits regarding their lifestyle changes and their exercise implementation. So overall, this will also be assessing how you actually build that client relationship, how you build rapport in order for them to actually be prepared and work with you as a personal trainer. You'll also primarily be tested on movement assessments in order to actually create the exercise program for the clients as well. Lastly, you'll also be tested on how you conduct basic physiological assessments in order to see what is going on with the client's function and movement of the body. Domain 2 covers program design and implementation. This covers about 31% of the overall examination, and that's approximately 46 questions. This section will test you on your ability to assess and create specific goals for the client. This is all previously done through your assessments from the previous domain and the previous section, also using data to design specific training programs for the client themselves. You'll be tested on your knowledge on how to apply specific exercises according to the right programs, principles, and guidelines. This is all to assess and create a program based around muscular strength, cardiovascular fitness, endurance, and flexibility and mobility. Here, it's important to know what sort of exercise equipment is going to be appropriate for which sort of exercises. In addition to that, you also need to understand how is this integrated into the actual program. Now, the third section or the third domain that's going to be covered in this examination is going to be covering program modification and progression. This covers about 26% of the examination, roughly around 39 questions. This section will specifically test you on how you implement exercise adherence. So understanding how you promote exercise adherence, what are the rules and guidelines that you need to implement with conducting a specific exercise, as well as your ability to respond to certain problems with exercise implementation and exercise adherence. Overall, you're just noticing barriers that is being implemented with exercise and how you can find certain solutions. Basically, this is just assessing overall client implementation, what sort of adjustments do you need for that specific client, and how can you integrate that into the program design and adjust accordingly. This is all done through observations, data, and client feedback as well. Just listening to the client and seeing what's working and what's not. Now, the fourth domain and the last domain is going to be covering more professional conduct, safety, and risk management. This will specifically cover about 20% of the rest of the examination. This will test your knowledge on how you apply risk management strategies towards a specific client in order to protect yourself and the client themselves. You'll mainly have to understand how to secure information and record progress in accordance with confidentiality and liability. This will test your knowledge on injury prevention and also identifying potential hazards for the client. Now, the next thing to know, how difficult is the ACE examination? Overall, with other baseline certifications, this is one of the hardest that you can find in the industry. But it's definitely not as hard as smashing the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Now, one thing to note is that this textbook is huge. This has over 800 plus pages of study materials and information that you would need to know for the examination. So naturally, a lot of people have a lot of anxiety trying to remember all of this vast information and what's going to be included in the actual exam itself. The ACE examination might be notorious for very vague or obscure questions. That's primarily due to the fact that they're finding really specific information that you can find within the textbook itself, and thus it makes it a little bit more confusing for the actual test taker, and you might miss out on specific information while you're going through the studying process. So overall, it's a lot of vague language and words. When you're going through and looking at a specific question, you might misinterpret it, or it might be completely different information. Now, let's take a look at some of the pass rates over the last couple of years. Back in 2017, the pass rate was about 65% of the overall test takers. 2018, we had about 68% of the overall test takers. And 2019, we had about 65% of the overall test takers pass the examination. Now, it's super important to note that with the ACE Academy Elite program, they also have a really high pass rate of 93%. So if the user takes this program and passes the Elite program tests, there are approximately 2 of them, they'll more or less see an increase of their exam pass rate closer to 93 or above. So it's super important to note that with this additional information, their chances of passing drastically increase. If you also take a look at some of the resources provided over at Trainer Academy, a lot of the students that have taken and used these resources towards studying for the examination, they've had close to almost a perfect pass rate of 99%. So definitely check out our friends over at Trainer Academy. Again, the links are in the description below with all of their resources to help you understand how to prepare for your certification exam. So overall, one thing to keep in mind is with this specific examination, about 1/3 of the total participants will actually end up failing. So this is one key thing to keep in mind, but if you are putting in the work and studying for the examination accordingly, using a lot of these great resources such as the ACE Academy as well as the Trainer Academy resources, you'll have a much higher pass rate. Now, one thing that people want to keep in mind is that there is a slight difference between the practice tests and the actual examination itself. One thing to keep in mind is with the practice examinations, these aren't created by people that work for ACE. These are individuals that have taken the examination while trying to become a certified personal trainer. So these are questions compiled from their previous exam experiences. Now, a lot of these practice tests or practice questions might not even be adhering to the new format that ACE has actually provided and changed since 2018. But over at PTPioneer.com, we also have a lot of great resources and study guides and practice tests that are all completely up to date for the 2018 and later versions of the ACE examination. This is based off of information from previous students that have taken the examination and have shared the information just as recently as 2018. So a lot of this is fairly new and up to date as best as possible. So now that we've covered the entire examination, what's going to be included in it, how difficult is it, and what other questions you might have in regards to the difficulty, let's take a look at some commonly asked questions that people have in regards to the ACE examination. So first, how many questions are there and how long is the examination? So with the ACE exam, this is going to be covering 150 multiple choice questions, and this is going to be around 3 hours to complete the exam. The second question that most people ask is, what score do I need to pass the ACE test? So out of the total examination, 150 questions, 25 questions are not going to be graded. All of this means that 90 questions must be answered correctly out of the 125 questions that remain. The ending score that you want to be looking for is 500 out of 800. You'll also be provided some of this information after you take the examination. So, question number 3, are there ACE CPT practice exams? The answer to that is yes. There are a lot of great resources. You can find some of those in the description below. ACE also provides a lot of their practice exams. However, a lot of the questions might not be the same as what you might find on the actual examination. Another thing is that the ACE practice exams are a little bit more expensive. So definitely keep that in mind when you're looking at other additional resources to help you study. The questions that you might find on the actual examination itself might not be the same as the ACE practice exams, so do keep that in mind. Question number 4, how much does the ACE exam cost? For the ACE examination, the exam cost for registering for the program itself is going to be $399. This doesn't include textbook or any additional study materials. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that ACE has a lot of different study plans and other programs available that have these study materials or practice tests, but again, you will have to pay an additional fee for those. These contain a wide variety of study materials, so definitely will be a huge benefit to actually looking into that and also preparing for your examination. Question number 5 is, how much does it cost to retake the examination? There is a minimum retake fee of $199 for the ACE examination if you do happen to fail the exam the first time. Question number 6 is, how long do you have to study for the ACE exam? So from day 1, when you register, you have about 6 months in order to finish studying, register for the examination, and take the final test. Question number 7, what are the minimum requirements for the ACE exam? So the minimum requirements for the ACE examination is that you're 18 years old, you have an AED CPR certification, and you have graduated high school. Question number 8 is, how can I sign up and register for an ACE exam? So currently there's about 500 testing facilities spread across the US and Canada for the ACE examination. All you would have to do is just contact one of these facilities and schedule a testing date. You can find more information in order to register for an examination through one of these facilities in the link in the description below. Question number 9, can you see your exam score after you've taken the ACE examination? All you would have to do is just after the examination, just log on to your account online, and then you can find your information and the test score that you got under My Exam Information. Question number 10 is, who else do I contact for more information on the ACE exam? You can find more information on the ACE website itself. So again, you can find the link in the description below. They have all of the information on what you would need to do to prepare for the examination, register for it, and take the final exam. So overall, this test is a little bit more difficult with a 65% pass rate. This is one thing to keep in mind. It's a bit more challenging than other certification exams. Now, if you're still looking for more information on other certifications, which one is right for you, visit PTPioneer.com, and on the main homepage, there is a quiz that you can take to help understand which certification is right for you and which one is best suited to your training style. Now, don't forget, over at PTPioneer.com, there is also a lot of great resources in terms of study guides and practice tests to the ACE examination, so you can find the link in the description below. There's a lot of great resources there, and don't forget to check out our friends over at Trainer Academy. They have a lot of resources as well that you can use to study for the ACE examination. They also provide an exam pass guarantee, so they're definitely worth checking out, and they will help you a lot in terms of preparing for your final exam. Overall, just make sure that you have resources that are up to date to the ACE test structure according to the changes based off of 2018. Now, if you want to learn more secrets on how to pass the ACE examination, make sure to check out this video right here in which we highlight 10 secrets to passing the ACE exam. Overall guys, hopefully this was helpful. If it was, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe for more information on how you can become a certified personal trainer. Let us know in the comments below if you have any additional questions. Otherwise, good luck studying, and we'll see you guys in the next video.